We've got John in TSS Studios today to share a couple of stories, and from me to our audience out there is a message that we're always putting out there is the skills that you're learning today are totally transferable into your future. So hopefully you learn skills and you stay in the motor industry and you climb up the ladder. But however, if you move out of the motor industry, those skills stay with you forever. Today's more about John. Welcome, John. I invited John into the studios today. John's with a company. He's going to give us a little bit of background on it, but I thought what we would do, first of all, is find out, John, where did you first start and where did your journey
oh, geez, you're going to take me back. Yeah. You're going to take me back, Steve. It's been a while. So, yeah, Steve and I have known each other for a long time. Our journey started probably 15 plus years ago. My sales journey started, 1998, selling used cars in Church Street Auto Alley. Very different times back then, yeah. and got sacked from my first job selling cars because I wasn't good enough, Steve.
Okay.
And then you came along and taught me a lot of the things I know. That's
not entirely true, but yeah. So you went from used car yard on Church Street, Parramatta. Yep. Then I know you went to, we don't have to mention names, but I know you went to a fairly large group and a franchise yard. What was that transition like? And then I seen you go into management and start to manage your team. And as part of your journey from managing a team, you went from sort of a bit ad hoc as a manager to learning processes. Can you tell us a bit more about that for the managers out there?
So the journey started in used cars, and when I decided I wanted to make a career out of this, I quickly realised I had to transition into the new car space and understand the whole business more than just the sales piece of the puzzle. If I wanted to grow, I had to know new cars, used cars. I had to understand finance. I had to understand the whole journey. And then I went into the new car sales role to understand that piece of the puzzle. I then transitioned into a sales manager role, really, again, as you touched on, very ad hoc, just learning on the fly. There was no school, there was no classroom, there was no, this is how you become a leader or a manager. It was just do what you do, and you sort of start to mimic people around you. And then as we started to spend some time with Steve and the team at TSS, we sort of started to get a little bit of structure around not only the sales process, but also around how to get the best out of people and how to manage people and how to lead people throughout the journey. I've spent a lot of my time in that sales, in the auto sales space, but only recently transitioned away. But I still find myself using a lot of the skills that I learned way back then in day-to-day, not only in work and in business as I do, but just day-to-day life. I think knowing how to interact with people, how to talk to people, how to communicate and how to get a desired outcome, whether it's talking to the missus or talking to one of your kids and trying to get something out of them and get the desired outcome, I think sales plays a big part.
And the next part of your journey, I know you went to it was like a brokerage for car sales and called it the Boiler Room. You had like 25 salespeople out there taking inquiry and doing deals on the phone. There was no face-to-face or anything like that. How is that part different from when you worked in dealerships?
The part that stands out is you don't have a sexy product to touch, feel and get the customer excited about. So I think honing your skill set and understanding that sometimes you need to sell without having a tangible product to touch and feel was different. It was an adjustment period for me. I was always good face-to-face, so transitioning to a phone-based only sales role.
Quick question for you, for all the salespeople who are using phones all the time, what would you say a couple of tips for the guys out there would be to, when they're taking an inbound sales inquiry or when they're doing follow-up, what's a couple of quick things that comes to mind?
Energy, make sure they can hear you smile when you're on the phone, and make sure you're genuinely invested in the call.
Yeah, okay, all right. Got to be all in as we call it.
Absolutely.
So John, tell me a little bit about DingGo and what your role is with the company.
So at DingGo, I'm the head of sales across Australia and New Zealand. We are a corporate accident management provider. We look after north of 75,000 cars under management across Australia and New Zealand. We work closely with corporate Australia, government bodies and a repair network across the country. We look after fleets, cars, and we look after managing their cars post an incident.
Okay. What should a company use DingGo?
Oh, I think it just, the tech that we have, the product is is purely a tech base with an analog support business. It gives you visibility, it gives you data, it gives you an understanding of how your fleet is traveling, and it gives you insights and some comparables against other fleets, but it also makes a really complex process post-incident really simple.
Yeah, great. And having so much experience in your old field, in dealership world, and you know, when you had the boiler room selling lots of cars and managing people, how have all those skills transferred into what you're doing now?
Oh, look, I think sales traditionally is relationship building. I think making sure you build a quick connection with whoever you're selling to, whether it's a car, whether it's selling a bottle, or whether you're selling a corporate accident management product. I think you need to be able to engage the person, your audience. You need to be able to connect really quickly, and you need to make sure you're likable. I think people traditionally try and spend money with somebody that they trust, that they like, but they also know is knowledgeable about what they're looking for. So I think whatever I learnt there in relationship building has helped me transition into what I'm doing right now.
Okay. One last one. I'm a 40-year-old sales manager. I've been doing the role for 4 or 5 years. Yep. What's some good advice you can give me?
Listen to your people. Listen to what your team is telling you, understand their pain points, and you don't have to have the answer for everything. Sometimes your answers are within your team.
Okay.